Hey guys, it's Caleb from Rokblokz. Today in the shop we have this 2023 Nissan Frontier. We've got a new mud flap kit for it, so let's go ahead and show you how to install it. Here we have the tools laid out that you'll need for install. Today we'll be using a 90-degree screwdriver with a Phillips head 2 and a 4mm Allen. Then you'll also need an 1/8" Allen and a level. Here we have your front laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your flap for that corner. You'll get your nut mount plate, and then you'll also get your shim. You'll get a couple pieces of clear vinyl that we'll install on the vehicle to protect it along the edge of the flap. And then you'll also get your hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of that hardware on the screen right now. Now, before we head to the vehicle, we're going to begin installing, and we're going to pre-assemble our flap on the table. So let's go ahead and jump into that. To begin, we're going to take our flange nuts. We're going to take them, we're going to press them into our nut plate from the non-etched side, just by pressing those into the hex-shaped holes. After you've pressed those all in, you can go ahead and set it so that the flange on the nut is facing your table. Now we're going to go ahead, take our shim, align it with the holes, and align our inner edge here. Then we'll set our flap over top, aligning with the same holes. Now we're going to take our 1/2" number 10 screws, and we're going to start with the top hole here and work our way down, skipping every other hole. We're going to come back once we've got our brackets and fill in those other holes. Alright, now we're going to install our brackets. We're going to do so by putting the side with the slot into the slot in the plastics right here. Now we're going to do it so that way the bracket steps forward and away from the side with the logo. We're just going to secure those with our 1/2" number 10 screws. With all three of the Z brackets installed, we can take our large L bracket, our large slotted L bracket, and put it in the bottom hole, and that's going to come out to the same side with the logo. With those all in place, we're going to go, and the ones without brackets, we're going to snug up. We're going to tighten those down. If you'd like a little more vibration resistance, you can also go ahead and install these with a little bit of medium strength thread locker. But we're just going to snug these up nice and good. Alright, with that last one snugged down, our flap is now ready to head over to the vehicle and begin installing. Here we are at the front of the vehicle. We're going to begin today by removing the factory screws located here, 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 and one on the bottom. If you have the factory splash guards, you'll need to remove those as well. We've already pre-loosened ours, so we're just going to go ahead and unscrew those from our inserts. With those off, we're going to set those to the side, but we will be reusing them to mount our brackets. Now that we've got all our screws removed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our vinyl strip. This is just a clear protective vinyl strip. And you can see I've added a little blue tape just along the edge here, just to make little tabs to hold on to, so that way I don't get my fingerprints in the clear vinyl. You don't have to do that, but I found that it makes it a little bit easier, so I'm just going to take those and peel that off. Now I can hold those little tabs while I'm matching this up to my fender, and this is going to go about 1 inch above the liner right here, just along the fender's edge. We'll keep it about an even distance, and we'll set it. We'll get it touched right like so. We're just going to press that up against our paint, applying even pressure. And then we'll go along the bottom here. You'll want to prep the surface with your cleaner of choice, and then maybe a little rubbing alcohol to wipe off any grime, because you don't want that trapped underneath. Now once that's been applied, go ahead, peel your blue tape off. Like so. Now we have our clear vinyl installed. That's going to protect our paint. We can go ahead, grab our flap, and begin installing. To begin installing, we're going to take our screw that we removed from the top here. We're going to go right in through our metal bracket into the insert on the vehicle. Grab the rest of our hardware and repeat that same thing, working our way along the fender. With all our screws in place, we're going to go ahead, hold our flap up against our fender, and then we're going to secure all of our brackets. We're just going to secure these three inner ones right now. Next, we're going to take our Allen key and we're going to tighten the flap, holding it up against the fender's edge. And we're going to tighten all of the screws that are going through our bracket. With that, you can always double check with a level along the bottom. Make sure that it's close to being level or having just a little bit of negative camber. Usually looks the best. With all those tightened up, our last step is to tighten our bottom bracket going into the vehicle. With that fully tightened down, that completes the front install. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Now let's go ahead and jump to the rear. Here we have the rear laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your flap for that corner and then the hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of that hardware on the screen right now. Now let's head to the vehicle and begin installing. Here we are at the rear of the vehicle. We're going to begin today by removing the factory splash guard if you have it. If you do have it, the hardware will be located right here, and possibly this 10mm underneath. We don't have one on today, but we are going to be reusing the factory inserts right here. So let's go ahead. We're going to grab our flap and begin installing. To prep our flap, we're going to take our tab, and this is going to be used to mount our third hole. We're just going to twist it until that breaks off. Once that's broken off, we can take our flap, and we're actually going to start with that, and that's going to be our inner mounting hole. So we're going to grab our 50mm button head with a washer. We're going to place that through the inner mounting hole on our flap, placing another washer on the back side, along with our spacer. Now that is going to correspond with our inner mount hole right here. So we're going to go ahead, put that through. Then we're going to take the T-nut, and on the back side, we're going to align it and get that started by hand. With that started a few turns, we can now grab our 1-inch number 10 screws. We can now grab our 1-inch number 10 screws with a washer and go ahead, and we're going to screw those into those factory inserts. We're going to repeat the same we're going to repeat that same thing for the upper hole. Now we're going to take our Phillips head drive and we're going to snug these outer two. With those snugged, we can grab our level, check along the bottom, adjust our flap to our liking. With that where we want, we can go ahead, fully tighten those down. Now we're going to take our 4mm Allen and tighten our inner screw down. With that last screw fully tightened down, that's how you complete the rear. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Thanks for watching.